Lexie Jay from the pop duo Featurette joins us today here on Primetime Local News. And we're talking about your new and powerful music video called The Blame. And I know it's a pretty personal video to you, and it talks about your story of what you experienced when you were younger. So, my first question to you is why now to share your story and also the vision that you had for the music video itself?
I'll talk about why now first, I suppose. So I actually started writing this song in 2018, and it only just came to light in 2021. We previously released it on our record Dream Riot, which came out in 2020, but it wasn't right. It was just like I wasn't ready to deal with it, so we threw it in the mix, and we had a track for it, and it was all wrong. And then a few things aligned more recently in my career, and I was finally able to get to a place where I was ready to address this issue. And the only thing that was stopping me was that the track just didn't feel like I needed it to. It didn't have that like organic feeling to it. So we tore it apart and we started again. And we actually did the two things simultaneously. So I came up with the concept for the video and co-directed it, and I produced it and just did all the art direction for it and all the set and everything. And I feel like I needed complete control of that because no one's going to know my story but me, right? So I was able to put that out there fully with the imagery that I was comfortable with, really delving in as much as I felt that I could. And all those things came together at the same time. So we actually really only had the finished track around a day before we started filming, which is pretty crazy and powerful. So all those things were so fresh, and it was really beautiful to like hear those sounds for the first time and like get to dance in the video and perform and just, really organically feel what I was supposed to be feeling to make art that day.
When you were writing the song and creating this music video, did you have that goal in mind of hoping that this creates an outlet for others to come out with their personal stories of abuse?
100%. I think that there's too many, far too many victims out there of all different kinds of descriptions. This is obviously dealing with child abuse, but there's abuse that happens at any age in your life with any gender, any non-binary person. There's so much out there that just falls under the umbrella of abuse, physical, emotional, sexual, or otherwise. And I think this is what art is for. There's obviously art that's created for just pleasure and leisure and those kinds of things, but this piece was created so that some people would feel like they weren't alone, so that they feel like they too could come forward with their story. And already, just in the few people within my team, even that I've been sharing the video with, people have already been coming out to me with their own stories or their parents' stories, or just letting go of some of that shame of like, I've been holding on to this for so long. Like, thank you for making something so that I felt like I could say something too. And that was really the intended goal here, is to just put myself out there so that others felt that they could be free of that as well.
Like I did mention off the top, that it's a story of what you had to face in your life before and how the music video is a reflection of that. For those that are watching and getting to know you for the very first time, can you share with us a little bit more about your story?
The video comes out on May 14th, and I think when you see it, a lot will become implicitly clear just through the visuals that we created. In the second verse, I show myself at a birthday party, except it's dark. Everything's black, everything's like tainted and heavy. And I show at the end of that scene the reeling of the numbers on the cake. I'm swapping out the candles, and it goes through 11 through 17. So those are obviously the years in which I was affected. Those are formative years. They're years from middle school through high school. And the abuse carried on throughout those years. And it was with somebody I trusted, somebody I felt I knew. And from the video, I think you'll be able to gain a little bit of context as to who that person was in my life and what position they may have held. But yeah, throughout the video, we see like, my inner child dancing along, and she's sort of there with me throughout. And by the end of it, I get to break free a little bit. So I think through the video, we had that evolution, that catharsis of like where I am now, realizing what had happened then and bringing that into the present in a really present way, and trying to overcome that and get to a point where, I'm able to heal, where I'm able to let go of some of that through support from friends and family and through my art.
When you look at the statistics when it comes to sexual abuse and the way that the numbers are unfortunately are, how angry does it make you as a victim to see these numbers like that, especially for those that still continue to deal with these issues?
Absolutely. That's the part that gets to me the most. That's why, like, no matter how painful this is, and no matter how much it hurts me to do something like this, it needed to be done, because there's just people out there that don't feel like they're safe to say something. And, I really respect that. And I felt for a long time like I wasn't safe in coming forward and saying anything. And, I got to a point now where I'm able to do that, and I'm really happy about that. But I hope for those people that they can start to find that place where they feel like there's a person they can talk to, or a line that they can call. Kidshelpphone.ca was one of the things that was out there when I was growing up, and I didn't even realize what was going on at the time so much as I obviously do now. And I wish I had taken those steps then. If I could go back and tell myself that I should have done that, I probably would. But every situation is unique, and unfortunately, these things will continue to happen until it's more at the forefront of the conversation. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve through all this. Yeah.
Lexie, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time. I know it's not easy for victims to share their story of abuse, but I'm very happy that you were able to do so, and in hopes that this music video and the song can hopefully help many others along the way. So thank you.
Thanks, Connor. Appreciate it. I'm glad that you were willing to take this conversation on, because it's obviously not a light one, right? Like, it's not going to be for every outlet, and I'm just glad that there's anyone willing to talk about it, because it's a big deal. It really helps.